Yeah, I think I'm live.
Okay. Patreon releases. Yeah, I can see everything now. And I think I'm live. Yes. Hello, Indo Dougie.
Hey
Welcome to
folks.
the stream.
Hey folks. Hey Jimmy, Mr. Grooves, Wicked Vinyl, Sparkyoptrix, Gregor. Good to see you all. We've just been setting up. It's always a bit finicky doing a Zoom call and a live stream, isn't it, George? Takes a bit of...
It's just always weird technical things.
Yeah.
This one was quite smooth. We had it's my fault we're a little bit late.
No.
Alex was on time this time.
No.
And I rushed in at
way.
past, and somehow we got it together in about 10 minutes. So there you go.
Poured yourself. Had time to pour yourself a cup of mint tea, and I've got a coffee. So
Ready to go.
So we're all good. How is it? Nice? Is it good? Did you say it was real mint?
It's real mint. It's just not fresh.
Okay.
Sometimes they have green tea in them, which is a bit of a... You don't know it, but then suddenly you're like, why am I awake at 12 p.m?
Yeah, you got to be careful of that. Valerian's good for that.
To counter it.
It's like a natural, kind of natural... I don't want to say sedative, that seems a bit extreme, but it's like a bedtime tea. Yeah, supposedly. I don't know the actual science. Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Well, you should probably share your screen.
I will do that.
And then the sound will just come through to mine.
Yeah.
I think.
That sounds good.
Okay. We might have to do like a level check.
Yeah. All right, folks, this is just real-time technical stuff. Okay, can we all see that? Yeah, we can all see that.
Yeah, looking good.
That feels like I'm at work. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Sharing.
Start of a Monday.
Yeah. Can you all see that? I'm just sharing my screen now. Okay, so we don't need Ableton open, but so I don't know if you want to. Should we set the scene a little bit, George, with what this is all about?
Yeah. Why don't you start?
Yeah. So George and I are putting together a Patreon compilation of music submitted by patrons, and it's going to make its way to some sort of release, the exact format of which we're still in discussion about, but we're hoping to put something out in maybe July, are we saying, George, or sometime after June. And it's going to be a compilation of Patreon tunes, the final selection of which will be chosen by a vote after 2 rounds of feedback. One we're doing now, and if needs be, we're expecting there'll be more submissions because we're keeping this open until the end of May. So if you do have tunes you'd like to submit, there is a link in my YouTube description to find out more about it and how you can do that. That'll be the first. These YouTube streams will be the first rounds of feedback, and then we'll do a Patreon only feedback session where we kind of go over the last, or like the final changes, if there are any, to get things ready for a release. Then there'll be a round of voting for people to choose their favourite tunes to make it onto the final compilation. So
there we go.
Is that all right?
Yeah, it's sort of... I think it came about because we are feeling that more than ever there's so much noise out there in the world competing for your attention, and just like having people listen to your music now is such a challenge. I think a lot of people... I mean, this is where we both started, is sort of putting something on SoundCloud and then getting 6 views and a sort of porn link on your... comment, and then that was all you got.
Yeah, man.
And now it's even worse than that. And so one thing about having these channels that we've been sort of steadily growing is that there's such a good platform to sort of showcase everyone's music. So it started off as just like a really fun thing to get everyone together, and then I think it's steadily going to grow. This first release, we're thinking we're probably going to do maybe a CD release is on the cards, but certainly a digital one with a visualizer would be cool. I'm going to see if I can get my animation skills up to scratch.
You're the man for that, George. Yeah,
and do like a cool visualizer for the release, either on our channels, or we might see if Thought Forms. I think he's got one called 4 a.m. which
4 a.m. breaks. Yeah,
which the Planetary Drift releases are on, which would be cool as well. But either way, it's going to be really cool to hear sort of everyone's music. And this is the first taste. We haven't listened to any of these tunes yet, so this is the very beginnings of this release.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just going to put the post in the chat about submission and stuff.
So you've got till the 31st of May. Yeah. Because we think we're going to need a month to just get everything together, especially if we do go for the CD one, and to do a visualizer for maybe 10 to 20 tracks is going to take a minute to do as well. Mm-hmm. So that's the kind of timeline we're looking at, the start of July. With all the submissions in by the 31st of May.
That's it.
Are you still tinkering away?
Yeah, I am.
Keep chatting?
I'm just because I put it in. I put it on Twitch as well because I'm on Twitter.
We have come up with the names, which we're going to go with Event Horizon for the title, and the record label we're setting up is Blue Dawn Records. Now, I haven't actually officially turned this into a record label yet, so please no one steal it whilst we're in the process of actually registering it. But I think we kind of want it to be, in the beginning anyway, this sort of atmospheric, forward-looking style, but then also incorporating lots of different genres. Like, it doesn't have to be 90s jungle, sort of UK garage, 140 stuff, all the way up to like breaks and even sort of house and techno. As long as it has this atmospheric edge, I think that's what we're going for more than a specific genre. Yeah. Because obviously everyone on our Patreons makes all kinds of music, and we want to be able to include everyone in the release. That's it. Yeah. And I think like listening through already to like some of the submissions, it definitely is like a spectrum of stuff, which is good. And Event Horizons has like that futuristic edge, but also it is a little bit scary going into a black hole. It can be dark. It can be dark. Yeah. Cool. So we've left it quite open ended, but definitely sort of like atmospheric pads and like diva vocals. Mm-hmm. Spacey sound effects, all the stuff that you see in lots of our videos. That's maybe the core of what we're sort of hoping the sound's going to be. But I think it will evolve the more we do it and the more we sort of hear everyone's music and go for like maybe a second release in the future. But for now, we're just focusing on stage one. 100%. And that is going to start this evening, yeah? So yeah, let's get into it. So we're just going to listen to the tunes. We're going to do what we usually do, give them a listen in full. And then we do have some some notes from people. So I think this is okay for people to be able to see these. Do you think, George? These notes, you can. I can always just take it over to another screen. Maybe I should do that, just in case there's any like sensitive stuff in there. But you can see the spreadsheet as well. Let me just sort this out. Okay, so if we start from the top, we got Anonym up first. Is that's the first one you've got as well, George? Let me go on I've got too many tabs open. Yes. Same. So we got Shuffle and Cut, Work in Progress title. So I'm just going to load this up on SoundCloud and get us ready. Oh, okay. It's not been found. Anonym. Well, let me have a look. Do you think maybe he could have revised it or something since? Anonym, if you are watching, do you have a new link to this? I've heard Anonym tunes in the past. Yeah, we have you were in the list. If you're watching, send us a last minute link. And we'll get you in. Maybe we should move to number 2 then. Yep. Distant Lands. Okay. We've heard a few from Distant Lands in the past, haven't we? We have. And I'm excited to hear this one. This one's called Crystal Visions. Let's just pull this over here. So we've got some notes on this one as well. I'll just read those out, shall I, George? Yeah. Hi, Alex and George. I've been working on this for a while
and think I've taken it as far as I can. Going for something moody and atmospheric that still packs a punch. Been doing some basic mastering, so hopefully the mix sounds okay. Definitely a learning curve. It certainly is. I feel like I'm still learning and failing a lot. So, you ready, George? We'll give this a... We'll just do a little sound check, shall we? Check it's all working.
Yeah. So that's going for me. I think that's coming through fine. Let me check my OBS. If you play it again, just so I can see the level. Yeah, that's fine. That's looking good.
All good?
Well, listen carefully to the sound. listen carefully to the sound, 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 sound,
What a great start.
Yes, very nice.
It had a bit of like a Alaska Paradox's Alias sort of edge to it, which is that it's like warm sound, but then sort of dark at the same time. It's like a bit aggressive, but also kind of nice.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm a massive Alaska fan, massive Paradox fan. And yeah, it was quite like minimal in its parts in that way as well, like particularly his Alaska stuff, which is really quite ambient at points, you know. But yeah, I thought that was brilliant. Distant Lands, that's feels like a real evolution from where you were with where you were like probably this time last year or even earlier with It's Quite Cool or whatever that tune was you submitted.
The sound has definitely got like has that 90s edge, but then you can hear like the artist coming through as well, which is it's not just an emulation of the techniques and the samples and things. It's like there's a bit of uniqueness in there too.
I had
I thought there was a filter sweep going down, a resonant filter sweep, which was sounding really cool, and then a pitch, like the drums were pitching up and sort of rolling up.
I really like that.
But it's cool. It's like a Source Direct used to do this a lot, and a few other artists, where you almost bake that effect into the groove.
Yes.
Where you're repeating it. It's not just like at a fill section. You kind of have it going every time.
Yeah. It had a real groove. Like, I really love the break programming actually, and like the sense of groove in it. I feel like it's really quite hard to do that. Like, to get to not go over the top. Sometimes you want to go. You want that sound, but like also like when you can bake it into the groove, and like it's like it's got a real sense of rhythm and like cohesiveness without being too crazy.
Because the techniques are all there. There was like loads of break swapping, and especially in the Amen part.
Amen sounded great. Yeah,
the Amen sounded. It was really like dirty Amen with like bits of just maybe distorted Amen parts or compressed Amen parts coming in and out. The only bit of feedback I had, maybe, I don't know if you picked this up in your headphones, but at 3:15, I think it was like another pad, or like maybe the horn section.
That's kind of what I've written it down as. Yeah, you might see that.
I think there was like, the balance was good with the bass and the breaks, but I think the horn section, because it was in the low mids as well, I could hear that thing where the sound gets almost like sucked out a little bit, and everything sort of dips down, where it's fighting almost too much for the space in the track.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like the horn, I really liked the sound, but I thought it was maybe a bit too loud.
It was a mixing thing, yeah.
Yeah, and also it went down quite low in pitch, and it started to kind of muddy.
It's almost phasing, isn't it?
Yeah, it started to muddy the low end a bit.
Or something with the.
Yeah, because it was almost like the same pitch as the kick and the 808 or whatever the bass sound was.
Yeah, because you've got an amen in there, which is filling up so much space already. In the low mids. If you have to almost sacrifice a horn or another element by cutting a bit of that area out.
Yes.
To make it all fit in the mix a bit better. But the sound selection and the placement and the arrangement were all great. That was maybe just one little mixing thing you could look to address.
Yeah, I agree. I noticed the same thing. I thought like for the master, it sounded pretty good, to be honest. I think the danger with mastering is that you always just push it too hard, and it didn't sound too pushed. Sometimes you want a bit of that, really, but I'm not a mastering engineer. I have done my own stuff and released my own stuff that I've mastered myself, and I know when I do it wrong, or I know when I do it and I don't like the sound of it, if you know what I mean.
It's easy to make things sound a bit harsh, or you're just, when you're mastering, you're almost just looking for levels so much that you forget that that's not what it's all about.
No. Yeah, you want dynamic range, and you want you want space in the tune, which you lose when you push it too hard. I got a couple of other points that are just worth mentioning. Distant Lands. I don't know if this one is like the line has been drawn under it, or if you're going to incorporate any of this. You know, at the end of the day, it is the art. It's down to the artist really what they want to take and what they want to discard. But I thought like the vocal level was maybe a little high. Because like one thing, whenever I'm in front of or in a club in front of a sound system, sometimes stuff like that can just like, it's so loud when you hear it at volume, and it was quite. What I sometimes do with vocal parts is like I do take off quite a lot of the low stuff and make it almost like it's coming through a phone, a telephone, not the effect, but kind of like that range. Yeah, like a bandpass. And I find that just makes it sit a bit better. People could still hear it because, you know, our ears are naturally really attuned to hear people talking and what they're saying, even if they can't quite make it out. So maybe you could just EQ that a little bit and maybe bring it down in volume. I think you'd still get the same effect to the vocal. Like the presence is there, but like maybe it would just sit a bit better with the other parts. Because my thought is that if you heard that on a big system, the vocal would probably be really, really loud. And then, the horn section, I thought the balance for the bass and breaks was really good. I don't know, maybe some more ear candy bits, George. Don't know if you thought that. Just a few more cymbals or some sort of sparkle stuff.
Yeah, like reverse effects with the delay on them always sound really cool.
Yep.
And they the things like that actually, they help to smooth over the transitions when you go from one section to the next.
Yeah.
You almost forget how important they are sometimes when you're arranging, but it just makes it sound more cohesive, the whole track, when you sort of like waves crashing and breath crashes and things like that. Yeah. So maybe if you fancy, I'd say there's space for a few more little sounds like that if you wanted to add them, but also it doesn't necessarily need it. So okay. Yeah, maybe just put transitional elements.
Yeah.
Because we could almost, I guess people can come here, but we could send them.
I think we should send or post this some on Patreon or something, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 8-bar transitional bits and bobs. So I don't know if that was helpful or not, Distant Lands, but
Is Distant Lands in your chat?
Distant Lands is in my chat, and he's just said, I haven't heard this for a couple of weeks and have a few thoughts as well. So we'll be doing. You'll be in the Patreon feedback session as well, Distant Lands. So I feel that would be a good space. Like if you want to incorporate all of it, and then there'll be more space in that to kind of talk everything through. I think. Be the way to do it.
Yeah, that's the idea for this, kind of the early comers, is you get a bit of feedback and then you can go away and work on the track a bit more and then sort of put it into the next one again.
Yeah. Conceptually on point. Best thing I've heard from you. So this is just this is nitty gritty, isn't it? Really, George. I think we're talking about here. But all right. Ready to move on? Onwards. Okay, so we've got RJ McCready next.
Nice.
Jimmy
Crystal
or RJ. So no, this one is
this is
one below. Yeah,
Algebrast
Whip. Not sure what happened, but it ended up very dark and unsettling. Need to work on the drums and find a break that fits in with the vibe. So I've actually heard this already, this tune. And I think RJ McCready was concerned whether or not it would fit the bill, but let's see. I think on balance it'll be against everything else that people submit, won't it, really? And how the overall shape of the
it's almost like all the tunes will get a vote into the voting stage, and then the voting will decide the shape of the first release.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah. So I think for now anything goes, really.
Yeah.
No holds barred. As long as it's not country music or something, because I just don't think that would fit.
Remix.
Yeah, man. Unless it's a remix. Okay. So all right. That's a good title. This is it, yeah. R.J. McCready, Equidistant from Mercy. Like it. I think there's some good concepts behind this one, George, as well. R.J. McCready might expound on in the chat. But anyway, we'll just go for it, yeah?
Yeah, let's roll. There we go, number
Very
2.
nice. What were you saying about that one, George? You want to go first, or?
Yeah, I wrote a few notes actually.
Yeah.
You could hear at the end, like when you put a textural element in the whole time. That was actually quite a loud textural element, but you really can create a vibe just from having like one, like filling the background of your track a lot. And I guess sometimes when you fill the background up, or what it usually does is it allows you to be more minimal with the stuff you have in the foreground, like the drums and the bass and all the elements. You sort of take away that dead space of like digital silence, which always sounds a bit weird. So with that in mind, I thought the best section here that really caught my attention was the flip at maybe 144 near the beginning somewhere, where it was actually way more stripped back.
Yeah.
All the elements, and I kind of enjoyed that part the most. I think it needed maybe a little bit more of like building the energy up with more and more layers and then stripping it back again. Then I think it had more of like a constant progression almost. Of adding new things in the arrangement.
I feel the same. I have heard the tune already, actually. Like I mentioned, a few, like not just because I've been listening to the submissions, but because RJ played it to me on a call, and I hearing it again, I thought the same thing about it might be nice to play with that tension and release a bit more. And the way RJ put it together was it's a live jam that's been recorded and then edited in Ableton a little bit. So I think there's space for maybe a bit of editing if you feel like doing that. RJ
edited as in you had the multiple stems.
Yeah. Like a multi-track recording of like various synths and stuff and drum machines, and that's kind of his big thing at the moment is doing all of that stuff and like doing live jams and then recording them and I guess
it's a cool process. Actually, I've done I know you do lots of that. I've done it a little bit with the Digitac, and it does give you like a live feeling, and you run into like happy accents and things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It had some really cool drums, like all the different timbres of the drum elements popping in and out. I actually thought it was really well done, as well as some of the effects and bits of sound design in there were sounding really cool. So it was almost more of like an arrangement thing, I think, to focus on.
Yeah, I reckon you could just get a bit like just pare down some of those sounds a little bit throughout.
Yeah,
you could probably even just go back through the arrangement and just go cut that without even listening to it. You know, like maybe that, because the background noise is particularly effective when it drops out, like you said. I love
you
it when it
build,
happens.
don't you, with the background noise and more things, and then you strip it all back, and it always sounds really awesome. Kind of like at 144. What's probably good, I find sometimes, is when I'm listening to a song like this that maybe has one standout part to it, is I go back to that section and I'm like, right, how do I make the rest of the song at the the level that this one section is? How do I sort of bring everything else up?
Yeah. My only other point was the ending, if it's going to stay like that abrupt, or I guess
you could just fade it down.
You could do a fade,
or
it could just like, it's quite cool when stuff does, when it just like cuts and stops.
Maybe actually someone wrote a good comment in my thing. Maybe some like sub dips, like pitch bending down sub hits with some space, so you almost like drop out the drums or drop out some other elements and have the subs come in.
Yeah, that could
stuff
be
like that.
Really
playing
effective.
with silence a bit more as well.
Yeah. I don't know what you think about that, RJ. If you're still in the chat, but those are our thoughts on that one. I think, you know, if there was a couple of like, we've had tunes in the past from like Caligari on a similar tip, you know, this kind of like dark halftime autonomic feel. If there were some other tracks like that, I think there would be a right place for this on there, on a compilation.
From this into sort of breaky things, and it'll be. I wonder how we'll do the mix. We'll have to, because you almost want to go from sort of light to dark rather than through speeds, or you want to maybe think about. We'll have to see what we get with the final result.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not going to be a DJ mix, I guess.
No.
If we can't beat match everything.
No, I
think you want to sort of play them at the original tempo. So it's just going to be curated list.
A continuous, like just a continuous mix that with no tempo, no blending in between or whatever. Yeah, just one track after another. Okay. All right. So
Nice.
Ready to move on?
Yeah.
So we've got Future World Machines next with Polaris. Okay, that's a good title. Nice title. Okay. No notes from this from Future World Machines. So, but it is out there already by the look of it. So this would just be kind of a feature on the compilation, which is totally fine. Oh no, what is that? The wrong one? Wrong link? Future World Machines just in the chat. Incongruent Angle on Twitch. Thanks for that. I'm probably going to do... I really wouldn't mind doing like a Discord feedback session at some point when I've got a bit of time. It's the right one, yeah? It's the right tune. Sorry, George. I'm just talking. Yeah, okay. We'll just roll with this one. So this is Polaris. No notes on this one. And let's go for it.
Very nice.
Yes,
Do you
very
want to lead the
nice.
way this time?
Yeah, very nice. Future World Machines definitely has autoplay. It shouldn't be on autoplay. Anyway, yeah. Very nice. Future World Machines. The vibe is spot on. Oh no, I thought someone was saying it's got like a Future World Machines sound. I've had quite a few submissions from Future World Machines, and there's like a definite voice threaded through all of those. And yeah, I really liked I really liked how sparse it was at points. And I think it can be quite difficult to do that without it sounding empty or like it's underdeveloped. And I think it's probably to do with when things come back in and when they're taken out. You know, it's kind of like the negative space, if you like. And I thought this exhibited that really well, that kind of sense of dynamics and negative space, you know, which only makes sense from the other sections in it. Really like the bass, really like the break. Creative Blockhead mentioned the width on the Apache, and I hadn't noticed until you typed that. And I mean, I don't know, that's kind of like a mixed thing, and I guess ultimately like a choice if you're happy with it. And Sparkyoptrix in my chat, George, mentioned maybe a second drop, and I don't know, I feel like maybe you could extend it out a little bit longer, particularly for kind of the sound world that's been created up until that point. I think you could
almost bring that part at the end into the middle somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. It's almost like you could take that, and I know I'm looking at the waveform now, but which is like a bit misleading, but if you some sort of breakdown or something might be nice, just because it is a really nice spacious rolling tune. I wouldn't mind hearing it taken apart and then brought back together again, you know.
Yeah, I think almost someone's mentioned it in my chat as well, but it felt, for me, the song, it actually conveyed a very clear emotion.
Yeah.
And that was sort of uncertainty or unsettling.
Yeah.
Like, it's not bad yet, but it's probably going to be bad in the future. Or it might not. It might be okay. But mostly it probably is going to be bad. That's how it made me feel.
I mean, it could,
and
like you're approaching a black hole or event horizon.
Yes, exactly. Like an event horizon where you don't know, is it going to be catastrophic or, you know.
Yeah. Probably.
But I did feel, I felt like I wanted some resolution a little bit more, like as the song, like it was so nice hearing all the elements come in, and then maybe it was like a vocal I thought it could have.
Yeah, I thought
one
that
more
too.
little synth lead to sort of reply to everything else that had been said before, which would work really well in your idea of having like a second kind of drop or second part of the tune.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
would maybe be a way to evolve it.
Yeah, I definitely hear that for sure, and I think there's a time for the kind of mysterious, unresolved, and sometimes it can be quite effective to like just have something like that continuously. And I don't know if you're planning on working on this again, Future World Machines, if there's going to be a VIP Polaris for potentially, or if you revisit the tune or not. Okay, I did it on Sunday
It'd be cool
afternoon.
to have an edit for the compilation.
Yeah, Future World Machines has said I did it on Sunday afternoon. I think it needs a bit more work. Fair. That so okay, so some potential to develop that then. I also just a thought, George. Like I think now, as we've spoken about, it's so it's easier than ever to kind of make the music. Or it's very easy to recreate music that has been made in the past, you know, and I think the real stamp that you can put on it that's truly your own is like is sampling, and where you might get samples from that can really, for me, it's always I you know, I use a lot of spoken words or vocals or things sampled from here, there, and everywhere, and I often think that's a great move for a producer, just to like put their stamp on their tunes and the way they like to lay things out. Is to get an interesting sample. Yeah.
Especially actually if you sample from vinyl, even if you get a cheap vinyl player, but just sampling alone, that's maybe like an extra 10%. But compared to using soft synths or things like Serum, they always have that like digital quality. It's really hard to get away from, even with plugins like decimal and doing tape warbling and all that stuff you do on like a serum preset, as opposed to going and finding a sample recording in like the 80s. It just sort of gives you what you're looking for.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Yeah, and I think that's a real nice, like, it's because it's the one thing that can be completely individual to you is your taste and what you think resonates with you, that you might want to put on top of music if you are going to have a human voice on there, or even just a sound.
Yeah, it's a really important part of my process as well, of when I'm watching movies or stuff on the internet, wherever, I'm like clipping stuff the whole time.
Yep.
So when I go to a track, I just have a folder of everything that sort of inspired me from the last month.
Yeah.
To dive into, because it's quite daunting sometimes to be like, okay, I've got to go back and work on this tune I thought was nearly finished, and I've got to go and like find sounds to fit it, and like it's nice having things just readily available.
Yeah. It's kind of the curse of the music producer that you can't sit back and watch a film without wanting to sample something.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's good. Stop that there. Just to make a note of that. Okay, this Alien Resurrection or whatever,
like 0421.
Yeah, I've got loads of stuff like that in my phone that I never revisit.
I know, sometimes it's too much to go back into,
Yeah. But I think that's just my thought on a really quick way to kind of really stamp one's individual taste on something is what you can sample.
But it was really nice and minimal, like the elements. There was only a few things used really effectively.
Yeah, for sure. I thought like it was tasteful and restrained in a good way, and the mix sounded nice actually, and all the parts worked together really well. So yeah, spot on.
Yeah. I can send you my notes after this as well, so you can sort of...
Cool, I'll compile them into one thing then, yeah. We could share them on both. Okay, so...
Also, one last thing also,
sure.
is the Apache is quite a hard break to actually chop.
Yeah.
And to make roll nicely.
Yeah, and that did, and it had a nice quality to it as well, didn't it?
Yeah, because you almost have to go like jungly, because it's got bongos in, all that kind of stuff.
It's got a swing,
into
innit?
that style quite quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I've found exactly the same thing. So props,
awesome.
Future World Machines. Yeah, okay. So next up we got Fatal Strategy, and the tune is called With Feeling. So let's just load this up. Okay, is this link? Okay. Have you got? Is that link?
I'm getting some tea in the intermission.
Yeah.
Let's slide out.
Play some music while George is getting a tea. Okay, yeah, nice. Um, 808 Diffraction on Twitch. How you doing? Good to see you back. Distant Land Sample Radar. What is that? Is that one of these things that you can just type stuff into? I think I can hear George's tap. I actually thought there was some sort of water effect in that tune, Future World Machines, but it was George typing.
Nice.
All good? We back with tea.
What does everyone think about Blue Dawn Records as our name? Do you think we're onto the right track?
Blue Dawn. Incongruent angle, yeah. I was like, I could hear water. I thought when you were typing, George, I thought it was water in that tune, but it was just your keyboard when you were typing notes.
Oh, as it was playing?
Yeah. The last one.
That was probably adding a bit of, my own ambience.
Yeah. Distant Lands says the sample radar never stops. Yeah, sorry, Distant Lands. Same for me. I think you can even just out and about in the street, I'm like drawn to interesting sounds sometimes when people are pumping out drains or something like that and they've got some machine running or whatever, you know, and you get interesting harmonics.
I need one of those like capture zoom.
Oh yeah, I've got one.
That's a handy. That's really an essential.
Yeah.
Bit of kit there.
I mean, the phone does a great job now, to be honest. And I think what you need is like a process. That's the thing that's difficult. It's so easy to sample stuff and like do. You need a way that's like that is easy for the laziest version of yourself, because you're more likely to do it then. Because
that's what Twisted Wave's amazing for.
It is sick.
You don't have to open your door, which it just has a whole world in it that you don't want to touch. You just go into the audio editor.
I love that. It's been my favourite program I've purchased. Thank you for turning me on to it.
No, it's like, the thing is, people ask me if there's any alternatives, and there's Audacity, but it's Twisted Wave is so simple, which is what makes it so good. The only bad thing is the pricing strategy. It's like got a weird tiered system where it wants you to pay subscriptions and.
Okay. It's worth it, people. Though it's worth it if you work on the samples and sounds.
We won't go down a Twisted Wave rabbit hole this evening.
We're always, you know,
on the precipice of it. So
gushing over Twisted Wave. Okay. All right. So we'll crack on then with Fatal Strategy.
Yeah.
Someone says, Creative Blockhead, there's a tune of sample called Blue Dawn. Can't remember the artist. Seems like maybe it was a library thing. Amazing piano riff. Okay, let's roll. Oh, sorry, we've got some notes. God, what an edgelord. I'll just read these out. So... hi, I'm Andy. I've been producing D&B for about a year. Thanks for all the tutorials. My influence is actually more house producers like Flume and Bicep, or progressive rockers like Radiohead, Thumbs Up, and Jethro Tull. I think it's good to have all these diverse influences. With Feeling has a moody synth lead that I think is pretty atmospheric. Got my head nodding anyways. It could do with a little work on the build-up, drop transitions. I'm not entirely happy with the vocal slices, and perhaps my mastering is a little rough. Cheers. So, here we go. Got some context. Very nice Fatal Strategy. That was with Feeling. I don't know if Fatal Strategy is in the... Oh, that's me. Sorry. If Fatal Strategy is in the chat. Shall I go first again on this one, George? I've got some notes.
Take it away.
So I can definitely hear like the a Radiohead edge in the kind of chordal structure. Like one thing Radiohead do quite a lot is like in music, pop music, in kind of a lot of music, chord progressions tend to roll out every like 4 bars, or they certainly do in kind of more riff-based music. But Radiohead often do things over like a longer 8-bar loop type kind of chordal structure, and they'll vary this quite often, just like with inversions and stuff like this. And essentially, they do the repetitive thing, but in a constantly varying way with the way their chords loop and stuff like that. And this definitely had an edge, had a taste of that in it. And so I really kind of like the chordal idea, and I like the kind of melodic thing that was going on, or was suggested by it. I thought the chops were good, and the vocal chop was kind of interesting as well. It almost sounded like some sort of anime sample. I guess it's just like a heavily messed about with diva sample of some sort. It could be something like that. Like structurally it was interesting. I guess the thing it needs is some sort of low end or bass line, I think, actually, unless you want to kind of bring that just in the chords, which you can definitely do. But I don't think they were quite low.
The chords, couldn't you, just with a bass note?
Yeah, I don't think they were quite low enough. It didn't
with more rhythm.
Yes, yeah, I can definitely hear the bicep edge as well now that that Andy's mentioned it. That kind of euphoric chord progression type thing with like some sort of Juno-esque sound.
Yeah, just wanted like a few more elements maybe to fill out the space a bit more. I think we're not hearing the bass, because that sometimes does quite a lot. It's like the last key element that you need with the rhythm and the harmony, and then the bass that kind of brings it all together.
Yeah.
But some effects and stuff like those things are almost freebie to give your song a bit of extra interest.
Yeah.
Because they're so easy to put in. Generally, they can be quite atonal and still sound really good, like pitch whips and reverse effects and all that kind of stuff. White noise risers.
Yeah. All the kind of the like. I tend to add all this stuff at like the end usually, or like if I feel it needs it. Really, I don't know. My process varies all the time, but I think as well. Like just a thought, Andy. But like if you watch this back afterwards, it's like, I wonder if this is a D&B tune, or if it's something different. If the chords kind of suggest it might want to be something a bit different, and maybe like kind of like the Amen, but I think there's loads of space to experiment with some other drums at the same tempo, and maybe like a drum machine sound of some sort. I don't think it necessarily. It would be interesting to hear that back.
I thought you could actually have gone more between the choppy Amen stuff into like a more rolling Amen part as well, to create some of that contrast, because you almost did it in the very last section where you were filling in the gaps in between the hits more. But actually a little bit of like a technical thing is when you have like a kick and a snare, you can either put the shuffle, which is essentially like a hi-hat and a go snare in between, or you can just put a single hat. And so even if you want it to like not make it too jumpy, you can put just a hat in between all the hits, essentially, from the Amen.
Yeah.
And I think that would have helped it a little bit more with some of the progression kind of stuff. And you were maybe sensing that it just wanted something more with the drums to kind of happen.
Yes, completely agree. So like I think priorities for that one would be, or like what would be the bass and try out some more drums. I think like you've got some really interesting chords there. You could even add. There's definitely space to add in some, I don't know, some arpeggiated stuff based on those chords, because those chords have got a lot of interest in them.
Then you don't have to come up with any new MIDI. You just kind of figure out the ARP sound.
Yep.
Paste the chords in, and you might have something there. You know, with a bit of delay and reverb, you can suddenly get something quite sort of magical happening.
So true. I do it all the time, basically. You know. So someone was like Mr. Grooves in my chat was mentioning Square Pusher and Wisp. And yeah, it's certainly got that earlier Square Pusher sound, or like, I don't know, he still veers back to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, one maybe final trick if you want to be really lazy with your drums, if you have them a bit choppy like that, you can use a dotted eighth note delay, and it sort of repeats because drum and bass has like a two-step rhythm. It repeats quite nicely with the existing groove, and you just fill in the gaps with a delay where you don't even have to do like any more programming.
Very nice tip. Hot tip there.
There you go.
So yeah, I'll be interested to see what Andy does with that next, George. I imagine you are as well. Yeah.
I think a bass might really bring it together.
Bass, yeah.
Yeah, that would be number one.
Yeah, number one change. If you had only 2 hours left to work on it, do a bass line of some sort. Cool. Some great. So thanks everyone in the chat. We had some nice comments as well, George, from people. Biggest Jungle Mentors on YouTube. Thanks very much for that. HVM.
Oh, there we go. We'll take that one with us.
Yeah. And DJ Gracious in the chat, getting some mad numbers on his YouTube videos recently.
Oh, nice.
Fair play, man. Yeah. Like he's been doing these really cool, like installing things like first version of Fruity Loops, Music 2000 on PlayStation, Ableton 1, all of this stuff, and kind of like making tunes in them. And they've just been getting some mad views.
It's
50,
a cool topic. I need to check them
60,000
out.
views, yeah.
It's all. I think lots of people started that way, didn't they? On like a PlayStation 1 game, or
it was
even earlier.
Acid for me, and he's got an Acid one coming out, Sony Acid, and that was like literally messing around, having no idea what I was doing, but that I could like I could put one sound on top of another. You know,
that's where it all began.
That's where it all began, man. Yeah, and then my dad had a reel-to-reel tape machine, and I would record guitar parts on it and layer them up. And he taught me how to use it and stuff.
You need to get your hands back on it now.
Fuck, I know. Do you know what happened to it? It fell over, right? And the like spoke for the tape bent, right? So I couldn't use it after that. And then I think when I was moving house or in a low point in life, I just like got rid of it. I just tipped it. Because I was like, I don't need this anymore. It's really heavy.
Cost a fortune to repair anyway, probably, wouldn't it?
Probably, yeah. And I just feel I still think about that tape machine to this day. Sad.
Someone might have been able to fix it.
I expect that there's a really good like tape shop here that does like old hard reel to reels and like high end vintage speaker and sound stuff. Not far from where I live. So
did it have the pitch bend on it?
So it was like two reels, and you could you could change the speed and everything like that, and you would have been able to manipulate the tape, and then you could record over. And you could of course layer things on the tape. You could I used to do like Stairway to Heaven and do all the guitar parts for that, and that kind of really got me into like the orchestra, adding sounds to one another,
like overdubbing. I just love the idea that I could paint a picture of with sounds kind of thing. So yeah, that was how it started. It's a cool ambient technique, isn't it? That I've tried it more with, or I think you can even do it with a really like a delay with 100 feedback, so full feedback with like a long time, and then you're just in a loop, aren't you? In a similar way.
Yeah.
Like a tape loop.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I could have. It's a shame it's gone now. I have been thinking about getting one recently again. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, we are digressing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe 2 onwards.
Yeah. So dramatic.
So we've done 4 now.
4. Yeah. Let me
How many
just...
did we have? 10 in the beginning.
Yeah.
We'll see how many we can get through in the next sort of hour.
Yeah. Okay. It sounds good. I'm just gonna. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so got some notes on this one. This is Footwork No, I've got the wrong one here. Sorry. Do that next. Reckless by Dramatic, and not sure if it's too repetitive and might need more variation. Short and sweet. Let's spin it. Okay.
Mm.
Don't know why autoplay's gone.
That
Anyway,
was a cool
yeah.
style.
Yeah, that was nice. That was dramatic, reckless. What were your...
Very good bass design.
Yeah, some really nice...
the way
nice
it sort of
parts.
evolved with the extra noises and the kind of crispiness of it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the mix had really good impact.
Yeah, that drop, that was a real drop, wasn't it? That was nice.
Which you get, I guess, more from... It's so minimal. It's just mainly had the drums and the bass going.
Yeah.
And it's also really it's like skippy drums, you know, like super tight hits. So you have loads of space to play with for the bass. And then the vocal is in like a completely different frequency range.
Yeah. Yeah,
which is what sort of gives you that really nice separation.
Yeah, and it definitely had that. The mix was really nice, actually.
Yeah.
I think it could be longer. You got space for it to be longer, and definitely add in some more variation. Dramatic. I feel like you probably know what you might need to add. I don't know. The pad, there was like a pad coming in, kind of a major third. It was swelling at the end of the 4 bars or whatever, and that was really nice. That was kind of like an interesting tension and release thing. I'd love to hear more of that coming through.
The fill stuff they were like almost maybe reverby hits or something that were coming in every now and again.
Yeah,
but they were really satisfying.
Yeah,
with your like strip drums, and then you sort of have a different flavour for the fill section. What else did I put? Yeah, I just liked. I guess it was so simple, wasn't it? It was like vocals, pads, and drums and bass, but done really well.
Yeah. It's like Pulp Fiction or something.
It was like Pulp Fiction.
Such an effective
I almost
tune.
thought like a spy tune or somewhere. You could hear it in like a mix like that.
Yeah. So I'd love to hear more bass bits. Just like if you maybe lengthen it out a bit. I don't know. Maybe another drop and breakdown.
Interest is to like do more variations in the fills as they go on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just like take the material you've already got and just manipulate it slightly differently. Or now I kind of think about what I could do with the sound I've already got rather than hunting for something new, or to fill.
Especially in the second drop where you get a chance to sort of flip it up a bit more.
Cool. Okay. So, the Akai my dad had was the 4000. I'm pretty sure, just to add that in, and they go for about £1,000 now.
That was the tape.
That was it. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the sort of perfect one you would have. You'd have that spinning behind you on the on your table.
It was fiddly to use. It was like really fiddly to use, but I kind of worked out how to do it. It's kind of strange even thinking back to it, to be honest. That there we go. It's making me nostalgic
almost now, though, don't you?
Sorry.
You kind of want those like artifacts you wouldn't want as someone just playing tapes.
You
want as a or playing guitar even. I guess you want them more now when you're sound designing to sort of.
Yeah. Like I would love it now to run some drums through it or something.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. DJ Grace has said in my chat, George, we are going to have another round of feedback. Yes, and I would love to hear a submission from you too. So, I'll drop you a WhatsApp about that, Grace. With the link.
Yeah, the next one we're going to try and do on Patreon or both our Patreons, like a collaborative stream, and give that a go. So it's a bit more private, and then I think we can maybe even do a bit of the voting there can start or something along those lines.
Yeah. Are we thinking we'll do another one on YouTube, George, before at some point?
Maybe we can.
Yeah.
We'll see how this one goes, because if we maybe in a week or two,
see how many more tracks we got.
If they come in, if lots and lots come in, we'll try and do maybe another 10 on a YouTube.
Yeah,
and then
cool.
The final one.
Cool. All right. Okay, well let's press on then. That was really good, dramatic. I'd love to hear what you do with that. Sorry. Okay, yeah, we got this open anyway. This is Footwork Lullaby by Monsieur Brute. Hello, my name is Gabriel. I'm a pianist, producer and composer based out of Montreal, Canada. Monsieur Brute is my alias, where I explore the intersection between footwork, drum and bass music, balancing groove-driven structures with an intricate approach to sound design. The music thrives on the tension between rhythmic intensity and sonic richness, syncopated patterns layered with lush textures, vaporous atmospheres, and carefully sculpted sonic details. For this track, I'm curious about your any thoughts concerning the arrangement, especially the way the outro or second part of the track builds out. Is it too busy or just fine as is? Also, anything mix-wise is appreciated, as I'll probably do a proper mixing session soon. So this sounds like it could be, a good track to pair with RJ McCready's earlier offering. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Okay.
lovely vibes in that one.
Yeah, lovely. It's really good. I think that shows like the the interpretation of the brief, George. How and it's really nice to hear the spread of interpretations of it that we have this evening.
It was quite hypnotic actually by the end of it.
Yeah. Do you like any footwork? Are you much of a footwork person?
Do you know what? I used to really like Exit Record stuff back when they were pushing, which was D Bridges. I think it's D Bridges record label, but they really pushed that like steppy stuff, which kind of has like a footwork feel to it.
Yeah.
So I got really into it for a little bit, but I like this because it was actually quite sort of light and uplifting.
Yeah, I like
stuff, which I haven't heard as much of.
Yeah, I do like the kind of like the atmospheric interpretation of it, like atmospheric footwork, jungle. It's kind of a really nice place to inhabit. Someone mentioned like a quartet edge to it, which for sure, yeah. I did have some like specific feedback points on it for Gabrielle. Shall I go first, George?
Yeah.
So kind of really, it sounded almost, the rhythm sounded a bit off kilter at the beginning, and then it all came together kind of like at this point in a really nice way. And I guess I feel like that's a real opportunity to like lean into that off-kilterness of it, to like really mess with people before it all just like slots together. I love that type of thing when I hear producers doing that, where you feel like you're like, what's going on? And then it all just like falls into place in a really beautiful way. I feel like there's a creative opportunity to do something like that in that early section. I suppose like the kick drums right in from the beginning, even though you've got this kind of nice like kalimba type melody thing, I feel like you could have a bit of a drop, or to
like a build more with no kick drum, and then
I feel like there's more potential for it to really build in that first section before it then all falls together, and then you've got this nice rolling tune that's like really really quite groovy and footworky. But yeah, definitely. There's obviously the crossover is evident, but
it's sort of like controlling energy, isn't it? Which we always talk about, but it is what you end up listening to. Like when you first listen to a song, you're diving into the emotion of it rather than any of the technical stuff usually.
Yeah.
Well, like that's the sort of it's like you want to control the emotion. So a lot of things we're saying about like the transitional elements, like I thought in this one, especially in the second half, to define like where the drops are a little bit more and to build the anticipation into some more sections. Having like, they're always classic things, but like even risers in music like this, you could make like quite a tasteful riser.
I think it's like the concept of that, isn't it? That's interesting. Like we probably have a sound in mind when you say that, when you say riser, George, but like there's so many ways you can interpret that. It doesn't necessarily.
I definitely have a sound in my head. I also have a feeling of like I wanted to be brought up with the tune more, and then sort of hitting these points. Because you sort of your ear doesn't know what's coming, and then it hits it, whereas you can create more anticipation.
Yeah. It's a bit like if you're running towards a cliff, right, and then the ground falls away from you. That to me always feels like when you just take the bass out of something, particularly with a riser or that you're heading towards some sort of moment of impact. And I think it's kind of interesting to think of the transitions in ways like that, like it's almost like a sense of where you are in your body. And
you have to take away almost before and then add. You sacrifice something in the beginning to give you more emphasis on what happens after.
Especially,
but I love the vibe.
I thought the vibe was
of like just the sound designs, the selection of sounds, how everything came together.
Yeah, really nice,
really lovely.
Interesting to hear a footwork tune as well, which I don't think we have strictly kind of in that way. It's the outro or the second part of the track builds out. I mean, I thought like it really developed after the intro for me, and I kind of liked everything after that. Not that I didn't like the beginning, but I thought like when it all slotted together and then rolled out, I was like vibing to it. It was great. Okay, so we'll press on. I thought the mix was good. Mix was good.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're
on number 9, but we've missed one in the beginning, didn't we?
We did, because we didn't have a link. The link was broken.
Okay.
And Anonym is not about, as far as I can tell. If I may, George, Silver Stag on Twitch. That's really good to hear, and that is totally fine. That's totally fine. What is I'm interested. What is EPQ? Okay, so thank you. So this is Suki and Guragu.
Very well done. We practiced pronouncing this before the session.
It's always worth doing that. And this is Into the Jungle, and it says, "My brother and I have been making music our whole lives, and we enjoy it. The sound speaks for itself."
Perfect.
Just relax.
Yes, a lot of love for that one here.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that was nice.
Had a very Source Direct-y sort of Photex style.
Yeah. There's people saying good looking vibes, and Incongruent Angle on Twitch was like kind of early 2000s, which I feel like it definitely kind of had that flavour. Because it was like, yeah, Mr. Groove's really clean. It sounded clean, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? It sounded like kind of bright and present, and everything sat together really well, actually. Really,
the way
really
all
well.
the sounds are like hitting off each other, really satisfying.
Yeah. Like it was like the break, like the bass, like the mid bass, like the pad, and the guitar swells, and the
there was like a like a tremolo rose or something, or coming in,
and like almost like a DX7 or a D50 kind of sound. Like
it was
a
like
wave.
mostly keys, but maybe with one or two synths in there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mostly samples, sorry, with one or two synths.
Yeah. I think that's a contender for sure. I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind hearing that for a bit longer.
Yeah, I like that's my favorite sort of style. I mean, that's a style I try and make a lot in my own music, so I'm always drawn to it.
Mm-hmm.
I also could hear loads of my own samples from my packs.
Oh, is it? Yeah, could you? Yeah.
Little bits and bobs in there.
Are the guitars yours?
I don't think the guitars were, but definitely some of the effects, some of the vocals.
Yeah, the Into the Jungle one is yours, isn't it?
It's hard for me to know because I made quite a lot of pads, but by this stage, but I could hear little bits and bobs jump out at me.
Yeah. I could hear some of my breaks in that Fatal Strategy tune. But it's good. It's good. It's why we make this stuff, isn't it, George?
Oh, for sure. I always love hearing it in other people's music and like how everyone uses it differently, almost the way to you intended or you would use it. They've sort of done something original with it.
Yeah. So true. I guess I'd love to hear a shuffle at some point in that. If you were going to extend it out a bit longer, I think you could essentially have that play out again. I'd love to hear it play out again, like over 6 minutes with maybe like a think shuffle or something like that. Not necessarily.
Yeah, if you were going to go in that direction, you could almost do like a layered think break in a stripped back section. Could be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you can sort of do more effects and more bass with more drums and take away everything else.
Yeah, like a dub out. I sometimes call those sections.
Yeah, it's like if you're looking, because you sort of have everything you want in a tune like that, where you don't need to add like a new lead as such. Maybe a vocal it could have had always as like a human element, which can make a big difference.
Yeah, like a diva sample for.
It can be really tricky to find vocals, so you just have to. It's a big trial and error thing to make something, because it had words, so it had some sort of speaking, but it didn't have maybe like a phrase, like a vocal phrase, or a singer. Yeah, exactly. Like some, I won't do it, but we all know. We were all hoping there in that brief moment that you were going to sing for us on stream.
I have tried to do it before, just to like make my own with pitch shifters and stuff, but it always just sounds mad. So
I always catch myself humming as I'm writing a tune in the background, which no one can really hear. Well, this is before I've edited it, so you can hear it.
Yeah.
But then I cut out the humming, so you can't actually see me sort of singing, but it's there when I go and do the edit.
Grace mentioned your pads. George is a pad master for sure. Your pads are the best, George.
We've done quite a few pads by this stage, but
Yeah.
I'm always coming up with new tricks.
Yeah.
I just love them because you create like a whole song almost with one element, whereas there's nothing else you really do in sound design that's quite as fulfilling as sort of pad making.
Yeah. I love the fizz that you get into some of them. That's one of my favourite textures. It's like when you pour a glass of champagne or prosecco.
Yes. There's a pancake noise. One of them might be for me frying pancakes. I put in lots. I sort of do me frying pancakes, and then I often run it through one of those hardware samplers, and you get a bit of like noise and stuff in there. Because I do find when you put like textural layers on top of pads, sometimes they just sit like a little bit separately, and you want a way in your processing to sort of bring them together.
Yeah, no, I felt you do it so well. I think I've got the producer in chat here, and they've said pad is from your pat, George, but stretched and pitched.
See, there you go.
Okay, and
Awesome.
and maybe plus switch think break. Yeah, that would be nice. Would love to hear that. Some like just woven in could be really cool. I'd love to hear more that longer. I'd totally put that on.
It could definitely be like a 6-minute tune.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. But like I do also get like sometimes it's nice when they're shorter. You know, like you leave you wanting more kind of thing.
Yeah. It's better. I guess it's better to be in that camp than to drag it on too long.
Yeah.
Reason. Sometimes that's all you've got to say, almost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I do. Okay, so this is Kosu and Blue Dawn Records. That's us. Is that us?
Yeah, that's us. Woohoo!
Okay, so Wish I Never Let Go. No notes on this one. Kosu is in the chat here. So Kosu, I think we had one from you last. Did we have one from you before? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. Okay, excited to hear this. Let's go. Very nice.
Maybe I'll start this one because
go for it.
I actually will go a little bit of feedback first, just so it's in the front of my brain, and then we can talk about some of the other things. But I felt like in the second half of the tune, I really love the statement of that. It was like boom, 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 boom with the initial bass at the start of the bar, and then it had the like bass kind of drawing you back out. So those are almost your like call and response in the bass. But I really felt like you could have got rid of the kind of drawn out bass noise maybe at some point and replace that with something else, either a different bass noise or like a chord or a pad or something to kind of fill the same space but do something a little bit different maybe as the track progressed. Was just something I could hear going in there. But one thing this song I thought was really cool was it was almost more of like a trancey progressional style arrangement where you have your like bass, your starting loop, and then you keep iterating on that loop as the track progresses, and so you don't really have like sections as much as like just a whole progression throughout the tune, which I actually thought worked really well. Like the impact, the two different breaks playing off each other with the sort of kick and then the sub bass underneath. Those elements, the pocket was really nice that they sort of made together. And maybe one last thing was just at the breakdown, I thought you could have maybe taken the bass away a little bit just to give your ear a bit of a rest, and then sort of everything comes back in again. But the tune was awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. The most powerful trick in the book. Take the bass away.
Take the bass.
Cut
yes,
the bass.
Less is more.
Excellent feedback, George. Yeah, I really like this one. I thought the vibe was on point, actually. It was kind of like late night drive vibes for me. Nice intro. I really like the intro, really just like that chord. I love space in you can always add more, at the beginning. And I feel like the beginning of a tune is really so crucial because I always think about if people heard this for the first time, would they keep listening, And I understand people giving music a chance or whatever, but I really want to draw the listener in from the very first, sound they hear. And I kind of felt that here. I felt you achieved that here, Kosu. Just like that, the filtering of the pad and everything, where the EQ of it and stuff, or the sample itself. I feel like you could probably make a little bit more of that coming in. You could introduce things a bit more gradually, maybe from the beginning. But yeah, I really liked the call and response between the bass. I love that kind of atonal ARP sound that was happening every now and again. It was like slightly out of key in a great way. It was almost like like a kind of computer startup noise or something. It's really cool. I like the development when the vocal fell away and then you got this lead sound. That was really effective. And I think what George is suggesting would be a brilliant development later on in the tune, where you've got like the structure, you just change the sounds, or like,
They're really minor things, like you can mute a section in 2 seconds and sort of A/B it. Because the second drop had like a strip back. It sort of stripped everything away again, which sounded really cool. So you sort of go, having no bass leading into that would be really effective.
Yeah, for sure. And or just take sounds out. That's something that's like, I know it seems obvious, but like often it can be really powerful when you just remove a few of the key sounds that that your ear is latched onto. Really effective and easy to do. I think just one thing on like the vocal, the warping. Maybe I'm not sure what you've made this in, Kosu, but like I felt like it maybe the warping sounded a little bit off, or like the pitch of the vocal. If you're happy with that, then that's fine. But it's almost like it had been warped slightly in a strange way. And I was just noticing that happening. So, but that was the first bit of the vocal, and the second bit was really good, where it's like there were almost two parts to it.
I didn't even notice that, because I guess I was so much listening to the drums and the bass that I almost you sort of zone in on a few elements, don't you?
Yeah.
But the rhythm section was really strong.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Kosu said, there are R2D2 noises. Yeah. Yeah. Are they actual
cool.
R2D2 samples? Really good. Okay. So yeah, we're on to the last couple.
Yeah, I think we have 2 more. Only because Indo Dougie C has been in my chat for the whole time, faithfully, and I think he put a release in last minute. So if we can try and get him in,
Sure.
then we have one more.
So do you think we can do these last 2?
I think we can do the last 2. We've got half an hour, haven't we, till 10 o'clock?
Yeah. All right. So let's do Dougie's first, shall we?
Okay, cool.
Nice one, Kosu. Banger. Absolute banger. Okay. Believing, Getting By. I make liquid D&B predominantly and do most subgenres and dabble in hip-hop. I enjoyed 90s and mid-2000s D&B and take inspiration from it. I make regular music when I can, mainly trying to train my ears and figuring out structure and not overcomplicating things, which I tend to do. Don't we all?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say.
That is the game. That is the game. Yeah, let's give it a listen.
Nice.
Yes, nice one, Indo Doggy
So
C.
many different styles getting thrown at us. That was a journey actually going through that one. I really like the vocal. I mean, it's actually quite hard to write a track with like a vocal focused track where everything else in the tune has to serve this sort of main element. But
So
I
true.
think that was done really well. And yeah, maybe actually for me it was like a mixing thing where I just thought it wanted more power, like in the low end, because I think if you turn that tune up really loud, you would be blasted by the drums because they were really up front, and I think the bass would be, your ears would almost start hurting before you would get enough bass in the tune, which is a good test sometimes. Like listen really quietly, and if you can just sort of hear one element poking through, then go really loud, and you can kind of. You don't want to listen to that too long because you hurt your ears, but it's a good way just to check.
Yeah, I feel like nice tune, Indo, and I wonder where that vocal came from. Actually,
There
was
were
that
good
like
background vocals as well, like teaming up with it, which you sort of very professionally done, which you don't actually notice too much because we're so used to it, but it was done really effectively.
They fit really well, and they fit the tempo, and they worked well at that tempo. And they sounded really natural, almost like you maybe had like a vocalist record them. But yeah, I agree with what George is saying about the drums, and like I guess the overall balance. There's because you can hear there is a bass in there, but it feels like the drums were just too loud against everything else. And
I think it's like, sorry to cut you up, but it's actually something that's so easy for us to say here. Just listening, because we're only hearing like drums, vocals, like guitars, or their violins. We're just hearing the elements. But when you're looking at your track, you're thinking of like all of the micro stuff, and you almost have to, like just put the aux tracks of the main elements and then balance them rather than getting stuck in all the nitty gritty of like the individual elements.
Yeah, what the way I kind of like to think about it is there's a couple of things. Like usually, whenever you hear any record or any kind of tune, there's kind of 3 to 5 things that will take up your attention at any one time, I find. And if it's about identifying those elements at any given point in the music and making sure you know which of those you want to focus on at any given time, and that you can hear them kind of equally above the other stuff going on, the things that are driving the groove or the emotion, or essentially those things really. And another thing is, if you're in the supermarket, right, or you're in the shops or whatever, and there's music playing, focus on what you can hear. If it's like a tune, because it's often just like the drums, a melodic element, and a vocal. When you're hearing music that quiet through like a speaker, it's interesting what comes through and what the mix engineer has chosen to kind of make most prominent. And that's often how I like balance my stuff in my own music, is like, what is selling this tune right now, and everything gets balanced around those things really. Just as a bit of mixing.
Because you almost don't hear the bass a lot of times in your favourite tunes. It just adds that layer of sort of warmth in there and power. And that's maybe what we felt in this one, is it was just sort of lacking that in the low end. You
could definitely just bring the bass up for sure.
It might be that simple, yeah.
Yeah, and like when the violins come in with that vocal, I feel like the vocal is the thing that probably wants to be louder than the violins. But yeah, not fair play for getting like the kind of the choice of sounds in like the chorus with a violin. It's
very impressive in all the things supporting the vocal were done really well. So, and the arrangement was pretty effective as well. It's actually very like professional sounding tune with maybe a few little sort of things in the mix that will take it to the next level.
Yeah, and I reckon you could probably drop that piano out at points as well, just for a bit of variation. It'd probably work. Replace it with a pad or some kind of different sound that's doing a similar part would be really good.
Lovely.
Nice.
They've almost all been like a different subgenre that we've had.
Great. That's kind of what we were hoping for.
It is what we were hoping for.
Yeah. Some nice comments on that one in the chat. Thanks everyone. Hey everyone on Twitch, Royce and Happy O, how we doing? Burkadak657, how we doing? saying good evening to both of us, George.
Good evening back to you. We've come down to our last track of
Yeah.
the evening.
My voice starts to go about now, talking about all these tunes.
It
How's
does,
your-
yeah,
how's your voice?
I think we have about 2 hours in us, don't we, Max? And then we're at
It
the
really
limit.
is like a wall. You just can't. Your brain
You
goes
can't
to
think
mush.
or talk anymore by the end of it.
Okay, this looks like this one's gone as well. Amalgam. This one was only sent like.
Whilst we were doing the...
Yeah. Sorry. Let me. Noble Woods. This. Am I looking at the right thing here?
He...
Has it got another link?
I think he might have messaged me before.
Got another
This
link for that?
producer. I gave him some feedback on this tune, and he submitted it. He said he just submitted it 17 minutes ago, but now it's maybe not found. But I guess I would almost say, oh, here we go. I have another link.
Nice one.
I have a link for you.
Thank you, George. Do you want to ping that over?
Can I send it to your WhatsApp, maybe?
Yeah, it's fine. Misty.
Cool. So I heard from on Patreon for one of the tiers, I do some like feedback every month, and so I've heard the first version of this song, but not since it's had sort of some revisions done to it.
Okay, cool. Is it Creative Blockhead? Is that? Is this Amalgam?
Noble Woods? It should be
Okay.
the track.
Let me just load this. Right. Have we got? Is there anything you want to say? We do have something. I'm wondering if it's too long. Almost 7 minutes. Suggestions on edit points. Got a 140 tune, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Fair. Let's go.
You might catch yourself sliding in and out of a hallucinatory state after this is all over. If you do, just relax and enjoy it. It'll soon go away. But for now...
Yeah. Very nice.
There we go. Great one to finish on.
Yeah, that was perfect.
I liked all because I heard the first version of that, but there were lots of sort of little things I think that were changed. Definitely the second breakdown and sort of the lead into the second part of the track.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was the tune was like reinvented really well to keep you interested the whole way through that sort of, because it's actually like a 3-minute section probably at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like it did really well. Jumping between sort of different sounds and sections, but making everything cohesive.
Yeah.
But also changing it up enough, that's a real skill in itself.
Yeah, totally. With like a kind of like not a restrained palette, but like not just throwing more stuff at it. You know what I mean? Just like being restrained, and yeah, not being tempted to just. It's about what you don't add as much as what you do.
Definitely.
I've
get
got
to that. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, no. Yeah, because Creative Blockhead, aka Amalgam, is in the chat here, and they mentioned that, or they just said, "Geez, it is too long." Lol. I just wanted to talk on that, George, because like it's interesting. This is a really good thing actually. If you're working on a tune and you kind of want to know what you really think about it. Like, play it with someone else around, play it in front of people. They don't necessarily need to know it's you. They don't even need to necessarily be listening to it. But I find just like having someone else in the room when you play it, regardless of what they think, it is truly revealed what you think about it. It can be a really good way to just like test your music out. They don't need to know it's yours, and you don't need to make a big thing of it. You can just like play it when they're like quietly but you just hear it in a new way, having another human in the room.
You often even, as you're doing that, when you're telling them about the song, you often say like, "Oh, the intro's a bit long," or like, You know something's not right with it, right away.
Yeah. It's a great way to like. Really just get
honest, isn't it?
Yeah, get internal feedback almost like and I'll often do it, just like put stuff on in the car or whatever with my girlfriend, or just play it to her, you know, and see how I feel about it rather than what she necessarily thinks about it.
It needs to be like a safe person though, doesn't it? Because like the negative feedback doesn't always do wonders.
No, that's true. I
find first thing in the morning is the best time if you're going to do it by yourself, where you have fresh ears and you're not listening to anything else. If you just come back to a tune, that's when you can sort of get the best perspective.
100%. I did have some other notes on it, like that. I really like the guitars. I'm a guitarist, and they sounded really lush, and like the kind of wah pedal stuff was really, really cool. I like the drums. I thought maybe they could be a touch louder, just like a dB, 1 dB. I'd love to hear them a bit more with the bass, you know. That's a mix thing, really. But and also, I kind of like when it went down to nothing. I'd like to hear maybe even less sounds in that breakdown, you know. I feel like it's been a thing with all of the tunes, actually, that it's I'd love to hear more just really taking everything out. Silence. I'd love to hear some silence at points in people's music, you know, because it's such a powerful tool. If you want to
know what I think it is a little bit? It's because digital silence sounds so unnerving. That like if we all had a bit of white noise in our background of our tracks, then you'd be more eager to like let things breathe. But because whenever you hit that digital silence, you fully have to fill it, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. And it actually, like it is the most powerful thing you can do in a tune, is like having nothing happening. I know we talk about space and stuff like that a lot, but like actually nothing. You know, or just very, very little. It doesn't have to be completely
the reverb
zero.
tail just sending off into the distance somewhere.
Just take it down to nothing, because like when you see like a band or whatever, or I don't know, or you go to a club night or whatever, you know, they will take it down almost to silence at points, and those are like the most powerful moments. So don't be afraid to like cut it all out at one point in the music. It doesn't have to happen in every tune, but don't be afraid to do it.
That was like That was a great selection of music, everyone.
Nice
well
one,
done.
people. Yeah, well done. Thank
All
you
those
so
who
much.
submitted feedback. Thank you, anyone who's just hung out around in the chat for the.
Yeah, appreciate you all hanging out and stuff, and it's great to hear everyone chipping in, and people on Twitch as well. Thank you, Incongruent Angle. It's a pleasure to share it.
Yeah, this is our sort of first build towards this Patreon release,
Mm-hmm.
which has got me really excited and inspired to hear sort of how it all progresses now.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're probably going to get maybe another 10, maybe another 20 tracks
Yep.
in the next sort of month.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see what people pick and what we choose as well. We get a choice each. That's kind of what we said, did we? Or maybe we had some sort of system for it.
We'll have to come up with something like that, but we're definitely going to have one sort of green card we can wave.
This is all happening with you, in front of you. You know, it's all of us together doing this, essentially, in a way.
Yeah, that's the idea behind it anyway.
That's the whole point. That's the fun part, though, isn't it? That we figure it out as we go, and yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll let everyone know if we're going to do another YouTube stream or if we'll just do a Patreon one.
Yeah, I guess it really depends on how many submissions we get in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Sure.
So either way, we'll be seeing you again towards the end of May, probably sometime.
Yeah. 100%. Cool.
So we'll play Alex's lovely.
Can you
outro
hear that?
music
Yeah. You hear my
as
outro
we send
music?
you off.
Yeah. This is a grooving in G pad.
This is a resampled one by Human Synthetics. There you go.
Yeah. It's a couple of sounds, I think, George. It's a few samples from your New Horizons pack. I've thought about doing an hour-long loop to put on YouTube for people to.
Yes, you should ASMR.
YouTube feedback, track feedback stream intro.
There's so many now, but I think it's AI that people are making these like forest backgrounds, and I just think there's no one actually there.
No, that you can tell as well because they've got some ridiculous title. I've got a few
there's like
go-tos.
medieval music, and you're like, it sounds all right though. That's the problem. It doesn't sound authentic, but it doesn't sound bad.
It sounds like everything's high pass to me, low pass. Sorry, yeah, people know what I mean. But all right, okay. Well, thanks everyone. I'm gonna turn off now, and we'll see you again soon. I'll be on next week.
Yeah. And I've got an Artemis video that I'm sort of putting together slowly but surely.
Yes, nice.
But it mostly for me will be coming towards the end of May. I think is when it's going to take me to get all this stuff done.
It's a slow process, isn't it? Video editing, but
yes, it just takes a minute getting. Especially when I go and do a big project like this, like Artemis, I have to sort of make a demo track and do like all the video, getting the history of the artist and sort of just putting it all together. And Artemis is one of my favourite producers, so I want to do it justice. It's kind of a classic thing for my channel, doing this artist breakdown, so I just want to nail it on this one.
You will, man. You always do. Yeah.
Is the plan. So yeah, anyway, we'll catch everyone soon.
Cheers, everyone. See you later. Have a good one.